That was a horrible game. Horrible game.
Yeah.
I don't know what I
Opening
was
was,
doing. I
yeah.
don't. I honestly like from the opening.
Play another game. Take off your mic so I can actually comment on them
I'll take out what?
when take off your
Oh,
microphone and your
the
headset
headphones.
so that I can talk
Okay.
and you won't be able to listen to it.
Okay.
Not right away, but okay.
Okay. So I'll play one more. I'm gonna turn my mic off now.
Okay. You can have your mic on. That's fine. All right. So you have e4. Let's see what you do. E4. Close to sit. What the? All right. Played at a much faster pace than I would recommend, but okay. Hmm. Either Black knows what he's doing or he's just rushing through it because having a backward pawn on d6 doesn't make sense. It would make sense if you have e5 as well, because then, you have the opportunity to push d5 and, make that. Now, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, okay. Ooh, losing his chance to castle. Now Black's really gonna go and hurt him. See, I don't like these pawns. Knight takes, knight, pawn takes. You'll have pawns on d4, d6. Too many holes in Black's situation, but well, White's not actually capitalizing on them. See? So now we have this pawn, weird pawn structure. And all the Black's pieces except the bishop are on the back rank. What the heck is knight doing on freaking e8? Ah. Well, pawn structure wise, Black is really bad. But the king safety, on the other hand, Black's king is safe, White's king is not so safe, and in the middle of the board, without the rights to castle, that means Black can open up the c file, placing his rook over there. I think, yeah, bishop to e6, getting rid of the knight over there on d5 will be one of the things. Queen to b6, hitting the pawn on b2. Ah, right. So this is nice. Okay, I don't like this. He should have waited for that. All right. Aha. Going for a checkmate, but the rook will help him out. Rook e2 will just stop him right in his tracks. But say, I think he should have played rook e8 beforehand, but because we have back rank mates if Black does something stupid, because his queen side is undeveloped. His bishop and the rook on the queen side really doing nothing. He's going to lose a pawn on d6. As I said, weak pawn. Why is he trying to safeguard that, that Okay. Weird. Okay, so much better. But trading rooks is gonna help white more than black. Don't think they should trade rooks yet, but okay. So it's not so bad, I guess. Black didn't capitalize on white's mistakes, and white regrouped his forces just so that he can deliver something. Take with the pawn or take with the rook. Bad. Now he has a passed pawn that he needs to worry about. Why? 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 Okay. Okay. Thing is, king can just march up to that. Fast phones, fast phones. Mm. 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 Done, done, and dusted. I can't hear you. White were playing. Some of the moves were really good, and then you were regrouping. The way you regrouped the entire forces later on was nice. And but he was letting you do certain things, and you were letting him do certain things. It was like so. It was balanced in that way.
Uh,
The opening he played slightly better than you,
well,
uh, and
yeah.
then he
Well,
started playing with like more gusto and stuff. Like pawns on d6 and d4 was just too much. Like the black had too many weaknesses, like holes everywhere.
okay. Let's analyze the game. So let's start from the beginning. You call out the moves, and I'll make the moves.
So e4, c5, and c3. So close Sicilian is what I would go for. And he plays e5. Now that e5 is slightly weak according because the whole e4 is about controlling d5 and f5,
So
and he's letting you do that.
yeah, a better move is probably bishop to c4 right away. Probably.
No, I'm looking at from black's perspective for this particular move that he played e5.
Hmm.
F4 is fine. Um,
Yeah, but you know, I
see,
played.
like f4 was fine, but he could have played d6 right there instead of
Mhm.
taking it, because
Yeah.
once you take it at the end of these, how many moves did we have? Three moves. How many pieces has white developed?
One, but he's
One
about to
piece,
develop
one
two.
pawn.
Yeah, he's about to develop two.
Yeah. No, not about to. I'm talking at the end of the third move.
Okay.
White has one piece developed. Black has none. He has two pawns, one of which is gonna go, really go away. So I don't like that.
Well,
I don't like the whole e
yeah.
cross f4 right away.
Well, and he also
So
takes he takes another pawn from the center. So he's not doing
so
actually anything with
right.
that
So
move, right?
he you play nf3, right? It's like
Yep.
something like a Grand Prix or a King's Gambit style. But now he plays d6. Now he should have played d6 before. Instead of taking e cross f4, he should have just played d6, and that should have like given you a lot of trouble, because then his bishop becomes active, and a lot of things happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now his pawn is just weak and has a backward pawn. on
So
d6, which can
yeah, no. So from a traditional, now I'm not. I don't have the book or the engine open, but
forget the book. This doesn't like no. I become uncomfortable if I'm playing black over here. I'll be uncomfortable because my bishop is not developed.
Mhm.
My knights are not developed. Three pawns are outside, one of which is backward, the other one is gonna get killed. So what am I doing over here? In the first four moves, nothing sensible has been done from black's point of view.
You know, I think I think white can still, even now, like I don't have to play d3. I think I can still play either bishop to
See, d3
b5.
is not bad. bc4 should have been better, or even bb5 check. bb5 check actually plays in his hands because then he can just activate his bishop. If you take it, whatever, he can reroute it. But
Uh-huh.
okay, that's fine. D3.
But
Now
I
see,
actually played d3.
if you're gonna have a backward thing on d6, I'd rather have a g6 than play bishop g2, because that way you have like a dragon setup.
Mm-hmm. So
When b Yeah.
so after
So
bishop e7, I just took
yeah,
it.
instead of
Well, yeah.
yeah, that's obvious. So far it's okay.
Knight
Now
f6.
why would you play g4? That's just
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. So I played h3, knight c6, queen d2.
why h3? I don't understand.
Um. Well,
You and I both know that you're not gonna castle that side.
yeah. So partly, I just wanted to. Okay, I was like, okay, is where is he going to put his bishop right now? So is he going to develop this bishop right now? I mean, that's partially what I was thinking. So just kind of slowing the.
See, one of the things I would have done is like just play queen d2 and be ready to castle on either side.
Yeah, that's right because
So
that kind
if
of
he plays bg4, if he plays bg4,
it's
I can just
irrelevant,
play
kind of.
be2. I can just play be2 and now let him trade.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But I can like make sure that you are able to castle. Now what happens? You play h3. That's okay. Still, it's not bad. But now his knight can go to h5
Yep. Hmm.
and other things.
And it can use that hole that I created on G3.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, well,
So you
actually, I'm gonna have some
now
dark.
g4 is just really bad.
I'm
Like, so
gonna.
you're trying to prevent h5 by playing g4. So he goes back. Now
Yeah, I don't understand though.
you should have castled right away because he wants his bishop to come over there. You should have castled right away over here. But
So
instead you went
so the reason I didn't castle right away is all right. So I have this philosophy. It's ingrained in my mind, right?
okay.
Whenever my opponent, this is just a natural move, especially in a blitz game. This is like my thinking. So
Okay.
whenever my opponent moves up,
Retreats.
yeah, moves a piece anywhere, I occupy the space that he left behind. So when he played knight to e8, he left the d5 square for my knight. So I'm going to occupy the space he left behind right away. And then okay,
Okay. But
well
then he can come back and then
he
force
he
you to
he
capture.
could, and maybe I capture his bishop, whatever. I mean, I don't know, right? But that's
See,
kind of.
my thinking is slightly tangential or slightly, different from yours.
Mhm.
In this position, I know he wants to push his pawn forward.
He wants to push his f pawn forward.
D pawn.
Oh, his d pawn. Okay.
His D pawn is weak, right? So
Yep.
I'm gonna entice him to push forward so I can capture it.
Huh? Wait.
Yes.
Wait. Why?
Because like instead of knight d5, I would have played castle straight up. What happens is this. If I castle on queen side, he has to attack me on my queen side, which is basically where my castle king would be.
And he might
But
actually
he
do
cannot.
something like that, right? Couldn't he just play something like b5 or something like that?
Yeah, he can play b5. And he gets killed right away. So he has to play a6, a preparatory move.
So,
The more
I hate to do like some like weird like tile sure. Oh, food here. Okay, hold on one second. I'll pause the video in a second. I hate to do some sort of weird like tile shear off like gambit or whatever, But if but if I was black and I played d5,
Yeah.
and then if I take and just maybe rook b8.
Rook rook b8 trying, yeah, so
Now,
that's fine. Yeah.
doesn't isn't he going to start having some threats on my on my? Oh, well, hold on. Let me pause the video. We'll continue this 1 second. I'm gonna go get the food. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get food.
Okay.
To be continued. Yeah. Wait, is it recording? Okay. Yeah, it's recording. So I played in d5, and you said instead of knight d5 you would castle right away, right? So
Yeah.
so that's why I said okay. Well, I'm a little worried about castling right. Oh wait.
You said something
I messed the
about
video
being
up.
Mikhail Tal or whatever, Shirov like and
No, no,
Mikhail
no. Well,
Tal.
I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I just meant that black, if he wanted to, he could sacrifice a pawn by playing b5, and then
Okay.
after knight takes, and then rook b8. Well, I can come back, or something, but now I have to worry about like all of this, like rook and queen and b file being open, and like it's a blitz game and all this.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. After knight d5, he played bishop h4 check.
Yep.
So now I can't castle. He played
Mhm.
knight d4, and like I thought knight d4 was a mistake, and like that's kind of why I like took a lot of time here, because I was like, man, I was looking at a bunch of stuff. I was like, is there anything I can do to exploit it? Did you see anything?
Where?
On move 11, knight d4.
Knight d4, I don't think it's a right move because he's, look
No,
at his pieces are
it can't be the right move.
undeveloped as hell.
Yeah, it can't be
What?
it can't be the right move. It has to be a mistake.
Yeah. So you taking it obviously makes like it makes sense because then now he has double pawns on d6 and d4 that just make life hell for black.
But see
So yeah,
the thing that happened was because like so after on move 13, I spent like 40 seconds, like some like ridiculous amount of time here,
yeah.
because I'm like, oh man, there has to be a way. There has to be like a good move for me here, like, and I kept trying to find like this, like, oh, what, and then I think I probably made a mistake because I played rook h2. So, but what do you think here on move 13? Do you see anything I can do?
Rook h2 is fine, but I'd rather play bishop g2.
Something, yeah, some sort of developing move probably would have
Bishop
been better.
g2 is better because then I can make my rook come to either like it will control the back rank and solidify my structure down there. So like I can play h like rook on g1, f1, e1 whenever it wants.
Right.
But yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, and bishop g2 is like, and I don't know, probably something that anyone watching the video should consider. Like whenever you're like stuck on a move and you don't have your pieces developed, or plus my king is in the center of the board too, which is another thing I have to worry about because I can't castle. So
But you can't do much about that. You can't
no,
do much about that. You can't even move because if you push c pawn, just just so that you can manually castle, if you will, that's gonna be even worse.
yeah. So
So
so the
so my
logical,
my point over here, instead of queen, instead of rook h2, you could have just played queen b4 right away.
yeah,
Queen
I could have
b4,
played queen b4
capturing
right away.
that pawn, and then you can place your king on d2 and so on and so forth, and manually castle the whole thing.
Now there was something I was worried about by playing queen b4, but I don't know what it is. Was I worried about? Oh, I was worried about. When I was going through like in my head, I was worried about bishop to f2.
See, now look at this. The moment you
Worried
played
about it.
rook h2, he played an f6. Now, if your queen would have been on b4, you would have taken the pawn without any worries.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. So queen b4 was
Now,
definitely a better
yeah,
move.
and this e cross d5 is another move that I don't like that. E cross d5, so you're doubling your own pawns. What the hell? Like both of you guys have double pawns on the same file. Can you see that?
Yeah, you know what? So all right, yeah, and when over
So
the
you have pawns on d3, d5. He has pawns on d6, d4. It's like, why? What the heck?
not yeah over the board, I was looking at like knight takes knight, and I was like, oh yeah, well like shit. And I was trying to think of what to do. Queen, yeah, queen b4 was a mistake. I agree. So he takes, I take back. We both had double pawns on the same file. He played queen e7. He was hoping for like some sort of
See,
like.
queen e7, bad move, bad move, bad move. Because look at this. If he plays re1, or sorry, re8, or anything of that nature, that would have been much better for him.
So what I missed over the board was that I could have just took the pawn.
Yeah.
I could have just said, but I kind of forgot that my queen was defending e1. I don't know why. I just kind of like I don't know what was going on like when he played it. So that's why I played rook e2. But if I had to do it over again, of course I would have just took the pawn.
No, if you take the pawn, then
Then the
he will
game.
checkmate you.
No, because my queen defends e1.
Which pawn are you gonna take?
I could just play bishop takes d. Oh, sorry, bishop takes d6. He can't checkmate me because my queen defends this.
Ah, yeah, bishop takes d6. I thought
See,
you said queen takes d4.
oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, I didn't see that.
No,
That's what.
I still prefer queen, not queen, rook e2, because now you can like safely hide behind it,
Well, that's
and
what
now
I
you can
thought.
take whatever pawn.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Except that after I played rook e2, I didn't actually see queen f6.
Oh, queen f6 is fine.
You think so?
See, yeah, queen f6 is not hurting you. But what you did afterwards was like just making it like even worse for yourself. But
So
it's okay.
so so
At
so
this point, yeah,
so what would you play on move 17? Because I don't have
move
any.
7.
Yeah, on move 17.
Yeah, take the pawn with your queen.
Oh, I can just take the pawn with my queen. Oh my gosh. I can just take the pawn with my queen. What am I doing? Oh,
Queen takes d6.
oh my goodness. Of course. Oh, brutal. Okay, instead I played rook e4 for some strange unknown reason. I have no idea what I was doing. Okay, he played bishop.
See now, see, so what my point is, like, he makes this mistake of trading bishops at the wrong time. Your bishop, I don't know why would he even trade bishops at this point. I would have just played g5.
Oh yeah, he could have played g5.
Yeah,
If he plays,
nothing can be, yeah.
oh yeah, no, I think it's. I think wow, that's a tough move. No, he missed g5. Okay, so we're both blundering here. So he played bishop to he played bishop g5. I took with the queen. We kind of just
So
trade.
okay, after rook, I would have played. See, this is something that I don't like. His bishop, both bishops are doing absolutely nothing.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
So he played bishop to d7 on
See,
move
he's
4.
like his few moves after that pawn, like
Mhm.
like the look at his queen. Okay, take his black's 15, 16, 17 moves.
Wait. Which move? Which move?
15th, 16th, and 17th moves of
Oh,
black.
okay. Yeah, his queen was just moving around.
His queen is moving like a freaking pawn, like like taking one spot at a time, or like a king.
That's true.
It's the most powerful piece that he has, and he's making him do like dancing around with like one step at a time.
That's true. That's true.
And his both his rooks are not active. His bishop is just sitting. So three pieces are undeveloped. The fourth piece that he has developed, a queen. Think of this: his queen, the most powerful piece, is defending a pawn, the least powerful piece. That should tell you there's something wrong going on over here.
That's true. That's very true. So okay, on move, let's go to move 20.
Yeah, I mean, anything after this is just this is just bullshit. Now, that this is just like, okay, you're pawn up, and you're just gonna wipe out everything.
Yeah, I'm a pawn up, and but it's a double pawn. But yeah, no, you're right. All I
You
want
have two passed pawns,
to exactly.
and like, yeah, there's nothing he can do.
So all I wanted to do here was to yeah, just get a pass pawn, and so that's what I try to do. I just try to trade.
And his endgame technique is weak. So yeah.
So yeah, so
If you yeah, note to someone who's watching this, everyone who's watching, if your endgame technique is weak,
Don't
don't
get
go
down
into
to
endgames in such a way. Yeah,
exactly.
get the shit done in the middle game itself. Because pawn down is not necessarily a loss if you know how to defend it. But look at this.
He just trades
Your
everything
bishop
down.
should not, yeah, your bishop should not be behind enemy pawn. It should be in front of it, so that like what he's doing is he's putting it back. His king should be at his bishop's place, and bishop, they should just replace each other
Uh-huh,
in
uh-huh.
terms of their squares. Bishop on f7 and king on this particular square, which is d7, would have been much better. He can control the game.
Well, yeah. So that is a so your king becomes a very powerful piece in the end game,
Yep. In the
and
end game.
and one of the things it can do, especially in just like a pawn end game like this, a piece and pawn, it can blockade certain squares, so it can stop pawns
Yeah.
from advancing up the board.
And you should always prepare yourself going into the end game. See, the fact that he's trading his rooks. Now, rook end games are actually much easier to handle
To
than pawn
draw.
end games.
Well, and
Yeah.
also being down one pawn with the rooks on the board is still drawable.
Yeah.
You still have
Because your rooks have the flexibility, the freedom to move around. So they can attack one place, then retreat and go and attack another place in the matter of two moves. You can't do that with a king. You cannot attack, or even with a pawn, you cannot attack two places in one go.
yeah.
So I would suggest, like, in this case, black should have just kept on the rooks. Instead, he went on for trading. That's like insane.
Exactly. So if he's a pawn down, he's gonna let me get a pass pawn, and our bishops are the same color. So it's not like his bishop can ever blockade or stop my pawn from advancing, because we have
Mhm.
the same colored bishop. Now, if his bishop was on a dark square, he might have a chance, because he might be able to set up some sort of blockade or something. But in this
Yeah.
particular scenario, the game is already lost, but I still have to do it. So I played c4, he played bishop d7, played d6. I'm just going to push the pawns up the board.
Yeah.
He tried to block it with b6, but no, that doesn't work. b4, king f7, c5, and then takes e6. But now my king can come in the game too, and now it's all over. It's just a few more moves. I'm just pushing the moves forward, Nishan, and then I take his bishop, and the game's over. So yeah, so in that case, Nishan is totally right. The game wasn't over just because he was up a pawn. I mean, he had two rooks on the board. He should have tried to keep. Maybe he can double the rooks on the c file, or maybe he can try to set up some sort of blockade or something. But no, he just traded everything down and got to the end game, which was a losing end game for him.
Yep. Wasn't even a chance to win this. Forget win, not even a draw.
Okay, Nishan, we said we were going to make the video 20 minutes. Do you know how long this
All right.
video is? Guess.
I'm pretty sure it will be past 30 minutes.
40 minutes. This is a 40-minute video.
That's okay. That's okay. We can wrap up right now.
Okay, so let's wrap up right now. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you want to see more chess videos. The next video, we're going to have Nishant play again. And you can see a little like higher quality.
Why?
Because you can see a master. You can see a genius
Yeah,
in his
master fumble. Dante's setting me up.
All right, bye for now. Till next
All
time.
right.